40 seconds ago, I think that nickel may be due.
What a pass. Another one for America. Good evening from Oklahoma City, where the spirit of Route 66 meets the fire of international indoor soccer. We're inside the OG&E Coliseum, where the stage is set for a rivalry older than the highway itself. USA versus Mexico. The only traffic jam tonight isn't on the I-40. It's in the arena with two proud nations colliding under one roof. Get ready, OKC, because this match is about to light up the heartland. For the third and final time, allow myself to introduce myself. My name's Christian Philemon, better known as Philly, and joining me, the man, the myth, the legend. He's already caught a little bit of flack for this, and I love it. The Duke of Dallas himself, Eddie Puskarich.
Oh, excuse us if we're a little drunk fans, as this is our third game, and Phil and I have been calling some absolutely tremendous games. The first game tonight was the Mexico women versus the U.S. women. What an unbelievable game. Down 2-0, down 4-2, down 3-1. The U.S. women came back to tie it 5-5, eventually won in a shootout in the third round. Then we had the Legends from Chivas versus the Legends from Club America. Phenomenal match as well, too. Great crowd. And now we finished the nightcap, our hat trick of sorts, between the U.S. indoor national team and the Mexican indoor national team. What better way to end this eventful night here at this OG&E arena in Oklahoma City, my friend.
Oklahoma gas and electricity is going to be what builds up in this building, as both nations have been battling all across the country in indoor. And looking at the turf right now, we see a lot of familiar faces, players that have competed with one another for quite some time. The USA has veterans of the game, but this Mexico team, young, fast, and hungry, featuring several players who have competed with San Diego Soccer's 2 and Chihuahua Savage 2, are led by their former MASL Coach of the Year, and that of Jaime Luis El Profe Borrego. This could be very interesting at the end of the day, as both teams round themselves in that center pitch territory.
We've got a ceremonial kickoff here. This is a brand new arena, less than 2 months old, and the Oklahoma City State Fair chairman is going to kick out the first kick today. And I remind everybody, we are playing MASL rules tonight. Coaches have VAR flags in hand. If they choose to challenge a call and they are correct, they get it back one time. So that should be fun to watch as well, too.
It won't be the running clock that you saw in that previous game between Chivas and Club America. Legit MASL rules. Now, again, looking at the turf, under the bright lights of this beautiful facility that just opened its doors 2 months ago, the U.S. has so many legends on the turf. Your Ian Bennett's, your Frank Tyus, to name a few. But the player of the game that I'm looking forward to watching is Justin Stinson of the Empire Strikers.
You're still in my thunder. You're still in my thunder, my friend.
Well, you can continue to build onto it. And those that follow our league are going to say, of course Philly is going to choose the player on the team that he calls games for. And while I get that, I'm stressing the fact that he's coming off the best season in his career playing indoor. 32 goals, 11 assists. He nearly won the Golden Boot last season. So he's going to be a player to clearly keep an eye on.
I think, in my opinion, my humble opinion, the best 1v1 player we have in the MASL. He shows it year in, year out. A little bit hard to find tonight because his hair is a regular color. No pink, no yellow, no gold. Just a regular old brown Justin Stinson. But there's nothing regular about him. He can flat out play.
Nothing regular at all. I mean, the kid can dribble. The kid's hard to dispossess. And you're right. I saw him like a week or two ago, and he had his hair dyed.
There you
so
go.
Not sure why he wanted to go neutral. It is what it is. Don't mistake him, though, for Jesus Pacheco, his former teammate. As far as Mexico is concerned, you got a team that features a lot of talent from Chihuahua Savage 2, who won the M2. You got a lot of San Diego Soccer's 2 players. But the player that I want to keep an eye on is number 20, Edgar Gonzalez, a.k.a. Torres, a veteran who's had an excellent career playing with the Monterrey Flash and the Chihuahua Savage. Throughout his career, 133 goals, 55 assists in his 6 seasons. You know he's going to have to rally this young team by setting examples. And those examples are going to be set by lighting the lamps.
A player I want everybody to watch, young player, Jair Romero, a player that I discovered by coaching the Dallas Psychics a few years ago, now playing for the Tacoma Stars. Young kid, left-footed, very skillful, very creative, great future in the indoor game. Should be a great matchup between these two teams tonight, buddy.
His brother Oscar is also going to be featuring for Mexico. So a couple of players that have played in M1, more players, though, that have competed in M2. So this should be interesting. Mexico has eaten the United States' lunch all summer long in these international competitions. If the U.S. were to get a win, it should be tonight against a team of youngsters with a sprinkle of MASL veterans.
Well, we spoke about this earlier. This is a friendly match, and you and I both know there's no such thing as friendly. Whoever named these friendly matches obviously don't compete at this level. These guys want to win. Ian Bennett, wearing the captain's band, former MASL League MVP multiple times. Absolute legend in his own right. Chad Vandergriff in the back. Boris Pardo between the pipes. I mean, this is a true mecca of talent here for the U.S. national team.
And speaking of which, your starters for the U.S. in between the sticks: Boris Pardo, Chad Vandergriff, Mario Alvarez wearing number 7, Alex Sanchez, Justin Stinson, and Frank Tayu are going to get the start. For Mexico, in between the sticks, Cesar Avila, and he's going to be joined by Luis Ayala, Orel Ponce, Yahir Romero, Alvaro Luavano, who we've seen playing with the Chihuahua Savage, and Edgar Gonzalez Torres himself. This should be an interesting competition and a fun one. The final one of this triple header here from the beautiful OG&E Coliseum here in OKC, Oklahoma.
Right away, we've got a change. You've got Ian Bennett who will be starting in place of Frank Tayu. Not sure what to read into that, Philly. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Well, the nice thing is that we know these players very well, and it's kind of odd seeing Ian Bennett wearing the number 2.
It is, isn't it?
The number 28. He's got the captain's armband on, unless that stripe is a little higher. No, that's it. Yeah. Justin Stinson set to kick things off for us tonight in the main event of tonight's game. It's the U.S. taking on Mexico, and we are underway.
Right away, look for the U.S. to stretch this team. Ian Bennett's going to get very high. Chad will get high as well, too. On cue, Ian Bennett will attack.
Ian Bennett's a player that is not slowing down whatsoever. In his 40s, the man is in that Mount Rushmore of goal scorers in the Major Arena Soccer League, as his teammate Frank Tayu, both playing together at the Milwaukee Wave. Ian Bennett's going to come back. The question is where Frank Tayu will sign, but that's going to be drama and gossip left for the MASL season, which is not that far along with the schedules now being displayed on MASLsoccer.com. We will only have 8 teams this season, but it should be a really competitive year with the fact that we don't have as many teams. It harkens back to that COVID season where it was practically an all-star team for every team competing in MASL.
That's one of the positives about having 8 teams. All the better players are going to be crunched together, and it's going to be a talent-laden season, buddy. Who's going to win this is going to be anybody's call.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, we will not have the Chihuahua Savage. They opted to pull out. That's a story left for another day. But we have several members of the Chihuahua Savage, too, on the turf today as that pass comes into a former member of the Savage, in that of Torres himself. This man has had a lot of success playing the indoor game, a talented player, and without a doubt, Mexico's most experienced as that ball ricochets into the hands of Boris Pardo.
It's good to see Boris Pardo between the pipes. My opinion, one of the best that's ever played the indoor game for the MASL.
I mean, I don't think you're really stretching too far when you make that opinion. No question about it. The seasons he's had, the man's elite. The man's been elite since he played collegiately at Seton Hall.
One word, consistency.
So that pass comes into Randy Martinez. Randy Martinez, a couple of seasons ago, got to try out for the Empire Strikers, found his way on the USA roster in the USA-Mexico game a couple of years ago, and has really blossomed within his indoor career. I mention that because we're here in Oklahoma City for the MASL Combine and, of course, this game. But Randy Martinez is one of those examples of players that try to find their way into the indoor game to keep their professional career going, and he's blossomed and found success playing for the Empire Strikers.
You notice there the Mexicans pressed right away, and the U.S. very calmly passed away out of pressure, very, very calmly.
A lot of these guys have competed with one another all summer long, and honestly in so many different tournaments. The World Mini Football World Cup, where I will say the USA did not have a good showing playing in Azerbaijan and Baku, couldn't get themselves out of the group stages, but so many players who have once called themselves teammates. I would say that the U.S. does have the advantage considering the chemistry amongst these players. But once again, you do not want to discount any team coming up from Mexico, especially ones led by El Profe himself, Borrego, a former MASL Coach of the Year.
And he's not going to want to go 0-2 as he lost the women's game earlier, so he'll be ready to roll.
That women's game was intense. I think I blew out my vocal cords just for that game. As that ball gets intercepted by Randy Martinez, Tony Delatorre, his teammate. We've got a few players from the Milwaukee Wave. We got a few players from the Empire Strikers. You got a boarding scenario.
That's awful close.
Very close scenario.
Very close. Frank Tayu's first appearance. As you said, everybody's waiting to see where he's going to land this season. So I'm eager to see his fitness level in his game as well, too. It's basically a commercial for the league. Hey, who wants my services?
Frank Tayu, without question, one of the most dangerous and elite scorers that indoor soccer has ever seen, as that ball bounces off on over to Jesus Pacheco. Pacheco, who played last season with the Baltimore Blast, finds his way back to Southern California as he signed with the San Diego Sockers. Pass comes into his former teammate in that at Justin Stinson. A lot of these players for the U.S. have also competed in the TST tournament as that pass comes dumped down into the left corner to Stinson. It was Mario Alvarez of the Milwaukee Wave who connected with him. Alvarez, 10 years in the MASL, 146. Sorry, I apologize. 14 goals, 12 assists, 26 points last season. When you call 3 games every once in a while, your mind buffers, so apologies for that. As that one gets kicked by Mexico's keeper, Cesar Avila, who played with the Savage too. Ball comes back over to Boris Pardo.
You know, it need to be pointed out that the TST successful teams layered with indoor players.
You're absolutely right. Every team that has won the TST has been a roster dominated by MASL players. No surprise that the small-sided game dominated by our players. This is the top flight of indoor soccer. Make no mistake of it.
And we've got a team warning for delay of game, which may come into play later on because the next one will be a 2-minute penalty.
Alvarez, as his teammate Sanchez, opts to go to the left to Stinson. Stinson looking to get his way past his defender off the wall. Vandergrift tries to skirt it through into the hands of Avila.
That's what Stinson can do. Give him the ball, clear out, let him go 1v1.
Mexico running on the attack.
Wow.
We have a whistle blowing on the turf.
Mexican fan not happy with that delayed call. I do think it was the right call, but I think it's a case you'll see on the replay. He did get him against the boards a little bit, but both referees are wanting to see who's going to call that.
The battle between Sanchez and Emiliano Mendez, who featured with San Diego Sockers too. USA trying to advance it in. Pass comes in, or it was intended for target forward Frank Tayu.
That's where I wish we had glass from yellow line all the way around to the other yellow line. You keep the ball in play. That's a good ball for a guy like Frank Tayu to use his size, 1v1 skills, hold it up, and we can attack. Now we have to have a set piece.
No stranger when it comes to finding the back of the net. He's only done it on 433 occasions. No big deal. As that one gets headed, Tony Delatorre had himself a breakout season competing with the Empire Strikers. Had his rookie campaign with the Kansas City Comets. And big shout out to all our friends in the Midwest. Nothing but love for the Comets and all the fans out there as that ball comes back into the attack zone for Mexico. Randy Martinez hustling to get by there, to get back on there defensively. Look at the move by Leo Costa.
You'll notice the Romero brothers, Oscar and Jair, are on the field together. You can't buy that kind of chemistry.
From one good Romero finds another one as no foul gets called. Oscar Romero goes to his left side, intercepted by the United States. And that's going to be a foul going against Mexico's Cristian Chavez. Blue card, tarjeta azul issued. It's going to be a power play for the United States.
You dismiss on the replay. He did cut him as he came across. The fans don't like it. Predominantly Mexican crowd here, as you can imagine. But I think it was the correct call.
Chavez, having competed with Savage too, is going to head on over to the bin of sins. It's going to be a power play for the United States. Man advantage, 2-minute penalty with 9:36 here remaining in the first quarter. And
there's a kid I like a lot here, number 4 for Mexico, Cristian Chavez. Great player, great future.
5 versus 4. You see that Milwaukee Wave connection there between Alvarez and Sanchez. There's a sprint opportunity there, picked right back up by Alvarez.
Well done. Experience from Pardo. calm, collected.
Justin Stinson with a, looks like a wrap around his left arm. There's a player that is hard-nosed, is Justin Stinson. He takes a beating, but reason being is because he plays so aggressively. One of the elite scorers in the MASL. Again, just to reemphasize the fact that he just had a phenomenal year last season, looking to build upon that under head coach Anuo Obasi's system at Empire, the reigning MASL Coach of the Year.
This power play will be much more effective if the ball moved quicker. 1, 2 touches, side to side, open up lanes. Movement off the ball.
Shot fired away, blocked by Steven Gonzalez. Steven Gonzalez, you spent some time with him. You're very well aware of him.
One of
the Texas Outlaws.
One of my players from the Outlaws, solid veteran defender, very calm on the ball, very intelligent, veteran leadership. Less than a minute.
Alvarez goes on over to Sanchez on the right. He fires it. That's going to deflect up. Picked right back up by Alvarez in that midfield. He's got Ian Bennett to the left of him. IB 26, or in this case, IB 2. Ball comes back out to Alvarez. Alvarez fires it, shot off of the plexi. Ball is loose. Ding, dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. Ian Bennett banging it off a Charlie crossbar. That was a very dangerous opportunity and the most threatening attempt the U.S. have had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I bet Ian will like that back and see the replay. He absolutely hammers this instead of a little bit of placement here. Should have been 1-0 for the U.S.
A valiant opportunity as that pass comes into Orel Ponce, battling against Tayu. Tayu muscles his way off, gets his pocket picked by Gonzalez. Mexico trying to fire, and that one gets field goal into the stands by Steven Gonzalez. It's going to be a goalkeeper restart for the United States and Boris Pardo.
Unfortunately, Steven didn't realize he had a 3v2. A little more patient, he could have slotted the ball in the back post for a tap-in. Easier said than done, my friend.
Always easier said than done. We sit here calling things out, but you know the game better than anybody, having played in the glory days of the MISL with the likes of the Lasers and several other teams. It's so much fun having you on the call here. So many things that I've learned from you just hanging out with you this weekend. Is that shot well out of range by Alex Sanchez?
Alex Sanchez, also one of the premier players in the MASL with the Milwaukee Wave, and we have our first media timeout, my friend.
Yep, we're going to head into a break. The Mexico team and the United States team knotted up at 0-0. We'll be back in just a moment. You were watching Indoor Soccer live from the OG&E Coliseum. Back here from the OG&E Coliseum in this USA versus Mexico indoor showdown. 7:24 remaining here in the first quarter. Both teams taking shots at one another. No dangerous opportunities, although the United States probably had the closest opportunity with Ian Bennett's shot on that upper right corner. So very much within anybody's grasp here as Jesus Pacheco heads that over to Leo Acosta.
You'll see him press here. U.S. likes to press when the ball goes into the corner, make it difficult.
Randy Martinez battling against Edgar Gonzalez. Mexico still comes up with it. Battling through, trying to achieve their way into the attack zone. Kicked out. Going back and forth between both sides. Again, this is a different Mexico team than we've seen all summer in these international competitions. We don't see a Cerda, we don't see a Charlie Gonzalez. We see a lot of young players that are really hungry to assert themselves into this game and make a name for themselves in this league, as we see Jesus Pacheco trying to battle out of danger. He's sandwiched in between two Mexican defenders. Picked right back up, shot fired, but we have a whistle down on the turf as we see a player go down. I think that was Tony Delatorre. He's back up on his feet. Let's take a look at that replay again.
Yeah, a little fight against the boards. The ball did pop out. Dangerous position for the Mexican players, and you'll see a little kick here right after at the end. He fell through, beat him to the ball. I will tell you, Philly, I think it's a good thing that the Mexicans are playing with some new players. You've got to always restock that inventory, and these young guys make their mark. It makes the older players, hey, I got to step up to the plate.
100%. Without youth, we have no future. Espardo gets that across. Picked right back up by your former player, Steven Gonzalez. Ian Bennett has it. Ian Bennett shot saved by Avila. Another shot ricochets off of the boards from Pacheco, and that's going to come out of play. Top of the arc restart for the U.S. in a dangerous position, but Cesar Avila, the keeper for Mexico, stood tall in that last sequence.
You'll see on the replay, Bennett tried to make him try to go 5-hole. Great save. Now this is where I think the U.S. has a distinct advantage with their set pieces here. These guys know each other so well.
The question's going to be who's going to fire it. Mario Alvarez.
Ian Bennett down low.
The pass in, trying to connect with Bennett. Stinson fires it. That's going to bounce off. Sanchez collects it, goes back to his teammate. Milwaukee's going to be a very interesting team to watch this season.
Yes.
A coaching change.
Coaching change, agree.
Pressing up top is Torres. Ball comes into Pardo. Pardo pokes it off of the wall. Intended for Leo Acosta. Ian Bennett showing us the skill, the lightning speed.
Still has it, doesn't he?
I mean, the man's never lost it.
That's true.
How can we say he still has it when he's never lost it?
You know, you can teach a lot of things. You can't teach speed and quickness.
I'm built different, bro.
No, that's or height for that matter. Going to be a restart here for the United States. There we see Oscar Romero, formerly of the Dallas Sidekicks, taken to the turf as Tony Delatorre passes it to a former Defender of the Year in the MASL, in that of Chad Vandergrift. Gonzalez across the midfield into Delatorre. Delatorre, who's found himself a nice, comfortable home playing with the Empire Strikers, dumps it off to Alex Sanchez. I want to talk about another player who had a breakout season. 27 goals, 21 assists, 48 points. Heck of a year that he had.
Yeah, only getting better as well, too. Talent, talent, talent.
Tayu tries to flip to the right, goes to his left, tries to put Gonzalez on skates. Gonzalez wisely stays on his feet. Ball comes over to Vandergrift. Vandergrift in to Delatorre. We're approaching the 5-minute mark here in the first quarter. Both teams knotted up at a goose egg a pop. Tough deflection from Tayu as that ball comes over to Vandergrift. Vandergrift battling on the boards with, I believe, Christian Chavez, and that's going to be a foul going against Mexico.
Yeah, Vandergrift, one of the best defenders in the MSL. His time in Kansas City has been great for him. Absolute brilliant leader. Solid, consistent defender as well, too.
And apologies, I said that was Christian Chavez. It was Ruben Torres. Ruben Torres, who competes with Certified Lions here and in M2 moving forward. And big shout out to Certified Lions for putting on this event. Wilson Navas.
Christian Chavez, yeah. Christian Chavez, again, I tell you what, he's a good-looking player. I'm impressed with him.
That pass comes in Avila. Justin Stinson adding pressure, trying to create some havoc as that ball gets poked down low and out of play. 4 minutes, 32 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
You know, one thing to point out here, Philly, in that corner down here, Tayu, after he lost the ball, look back in that corner. I think it may be still wet. It was wet yesterday during some of the games.
Yeah, I think one of those boards leaked out. Shot fired, just misses. And it's in! The player that we warned you about. Edgar Gonzalez, a.k.a. Torres, the Bull, bullies his way into the back of the net. Mexico's up. Mexico goes up by a score of 1-0.
A giveaway in the back. Followed it up. Didn't have to do a lot on it. Let the ball hit his body. Goes in the goal. 1-0. You cannot lose the ball in the back against good teams.
And that gets this crowd roaring here at the OG&E Coliseum. The crowd heavily favors El Tri, Mexico here. As Frank Tayu begins the next shift. Acosta ginsus his way in. That ball is loose, recovered by Frank Tayu just outside of the box. Goes back out up top to Alvarez. Alvarez trying to get by Yair Romero. Resets to Randy Martinez. Martinez to his former teammate, Pacheco. Pacheco tries to find his way in. Passes it off to Alvarez. Alvarez in to tie you into that corner. He gets bodied off the ball. Mexico defensively playing the United States very well.
Interesting play there. Play the ball maybe just to relieve pressure. I'm not quite sure what the thought process there.
Well, resetting themselves, and that's only going to give the USA the advantage as we see a line change.
Again, you'll notice the tactician of Coach Luis. Behind the ball, 5 guys, passing lanes, nice and tight and compact.
That one gets kicked aggressively into the stands by Alvarez. 3 minutes and 22 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Mexico leading the United States by a score of 1-0. If you're just joining us right now, Edgar Gonzalez, a.k.a. Torres, formerly of the Monterrey Flash and the Chihuahua Savage, the only goal scorer in tonight's affair. Restart here as Luis Ayala, who also has played for the Monterrey Flash, puts the ball back into the play. Into that right corner it goes. Ayala recovers. Goes over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez connects up top. De La Torre marking Emilio Mendez aggressively. Mendez gets right by his defender. And that's going to be a foul going against De La Torre.
What a great play by Mendez. Nice, quick, sharp turn. You'll see how the U.S. is pressed. You'll see in a replay. He turns a guy, grabs him from behind. It is a foul. Not a blue card, but it is a foul. U.S. is pressing. Mexico is counterattacking.
Ayala of the Monterrey Flash. Team that won the inaugural MASL Ron Newman Cup trophy. Team that went undefeated in their last season. A lot of talent on that team. Formerly that team, I should say.
Now again, they cannot go back to the goalkeeper.
Kicked out of the midfield. Vandergriff is there to make the play. Intercepted. The kick, the cheeky kick. Shot deflects, fired off the wall, recovered by Mexico. Shot off the plexi. Another opportunity. What a shot, what a save. Ball is loose, kicked high into the air. Stratosphered out of play. Mexico knocking on the U.S.'s door.
Wow, again off a counterattack. If we see a replay here, 2 point-blank shots. Great job by Pardo. Here's the first save. Balls came back. What a great. And we have a challenge flag on the field. I think they're going to try and say it was a foul in the box by Chad Vandergriff. So now that we have a challenge, it's a video review, VR challenge. They are looking to see if there was a foul inside the box. The referees will see a replay as we have it right here as well.
Didn't catch it there.
No, I don't think he'll win that one.
No, I don't see that either.
Yeah.
But it's not up to you and I.
It's not.
But one thing that we could both agree upon, and everybody at home could agree upon as well, that acrobatic save by Boris Pardo.
Brilliant.
Very brilliant save.
Again, the referees are looking at the video, trying to give them as best angle as they possibly can. I'm not sure how many cameras we have here. There's the first save.
Pardo with the exceptional save.
So there's no foul there. Here it comes right here. Vandergriff is on the ground. He gets up. And they're saying he pushed him. From that angle, I don't see it, Philly.
Nor is there a play on the ball, or he tried to make any contact on the ball, and even Vandergriff is perplexed himself.
Yeah, if we had an angle behind the goal, it may have helped. But this is a case where, unless we have better angles, you can't really overturn the call on the field.
I would say it's not conclusive. And so the official is going to say the foul is against Vandergriff in the box.
So
that's why we can never be certain about anything. What I've learned is that the older I get, the more I realize I know nothing. And so now Mexico has an opportunity to capitalize and double up their lead.
No, I'm sorry. The referee's signal confused all of us. He's calling no foul. He's calling Boris Pardo possession, goalkeeper possession.
Oh.
There is no foul. So we were right. Please mark that down in the win column.
Okay, fair enough. I got confused on that as well.
His call confused all of us, including everybody in the arena.
Including the public address announcer, all the crowd.
He should have made the VAR signal and then crossed his hands to a point, unsuccessful.
Well, hey, we're dusting off the preseason rust as Martinez connects with Stinson on the right.
More importantly, Coach Luis loses his challenge, so he's out of challenges for the game.
With so much more action to be had.
Agree.
And even if that was a challenge, that would have been worth it. I mean, 2-0. Had Mexico been able to capitalize there with so much time left, not sure it would have been warranted. But look, I'm not an MASL coach of the year, nor am I an announcer of the year. All I know is what I see, and what I see isn't what I know.
I can't top that, buddy.
that was mind-bending, even to myself. Restart for the U.S. It'll either be Stinson or Alvarez. We see Torres directly in front. The drop-off to Stinson. Stinson, who played at TST with West Ham, which is kind of a cool story, Eddie, because Stinson, when he was young, trained with the West Ham Academy. The fact that he got to play with the Irons for TST, the story comes back home. Very cool.
That's awesome.
Sanchez shot fired. Ding dong. Ring-a-ling-a-ling. That was close.
That goes down as a save right off the bar to our friend Charlie. Charlie Crossbar.
Charlie Crossbar, that son of a gun. Into Tayu. Tayu.
Smart play. Numbers down, kept possession, change. That's experience right there from Frank Tayu, the king.
And great defense by Mexico's Jesus Rodriguez of Savage 2, pushing the most prolific scorer in the history of the indoor game out of the attack zone. Pass, try to thread its way into Pacheco.
Again, you'll notice Mexico is not pressing the American team. They're going to try and force it to play into certain zones, press, collect it, and keep possession, work on their own counterattack.
Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Pardo tries to connect with Ian Bennett. Romero trying to get the better of him. Vandergriff off the wall. It bats back and forth. Romero to Romero. Yahir to Oscar. 30 seconds off of the dome piece of De La Torre. Headed high into the air. Pacheco shows us more than that 2-inch vertical. Ball bounces. Yahir Romero comes up with it. Vandergriff
here we go.
Passes it into Leo Acosta. The Kansas City Comet fires it well off of the mark. Pacheco trying to find the rebound. It comes back. De La Torre chasing it with 10 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
Well, we'd like to see Acosta bring that ball inside a little bit more before he rushed that shot.
Looking to find Tayu. And the game clock expires as the first quarter comes to an end. Mexico comes out of the break with a lead, 1-0. Goal scored by Edgar Gonzalez. We're going to step aside and take a moment to take a breath as well. And y'all should too. It's Saturday. Head on over to the fridge. Go to that replay. Come on back. Plenty more action to be had live from the OG&E Coliseum. Back in a moment.
All of our season home games for the certified
Back here for the start of the second quarter in this international showdown of indoor soccer between the United States and Mexico. Mexico scoring the first and only goal of the game, surprisingly so, as the USA was the team that was really threatening in the early moments of the first quarter. But El Tri has really put on an impressive performance, considering the fact that they're going up against a United States team that has a veteran squad that have competed together for quite some time. That comes out of play and off of the official. The official's going to get charged with a handball.
I tell you what's impressive, Phillies. Look how often the Mexican defenders, in that case Steven Gonzalez, they're reading the pass into the forward and they're intercepting it. I think we actually call it jumping the route, jumping the pass.
This has been an interesting chess match between two coaches that have both had the honor and distinction of being coaches of the year. Of course, we're talking about Phil Salvaggio for the United States and Loris Borrego as Frank Tayu goes down. Tayu is down, grimacing.
I think it wasn't so much from the tackle, but from the boards here. Let's see, we see a replay. Steven Gonzalez on the foul.
So Tayu getting himself back up. Obviously the cliche is the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Frank Tayu took a bit of a knock. The guy's a warrior, built out of rock. And he's going to go down, you know it, it's smarts.
And he is big.
Sanchez on the restart, fires it. What a kick save. I think that came off of Avila. Yahir Romero finds himself some space. Counterattack opportunity for Mexico. Taken away by a wave of defense.
Great
right
recovery,
back up by Steven Gonzalez into Mendez. Mendez trying to get by Chad Vandergriff, not going to be successful in that endeavor. Yahir Romero weighing his options. He's going to go back to Gonzalez. Resetting things for Mexico. Threaded through to Torres himself. The only goal scorer. He's shot fired off of Vandergriff. Still sticking with it. Leo Acosta, he's going to hit the deck.
Tell you what, great recovery, though. Absolutely great recovery. See on the replay here. He loses the ball. A shot. Vander keeps his legs together. Lose the ball. Get back. Fights. Tenacious. Tenacious defending. Yeah, it's a foul, but it's still tenacious defending.
Acosta, he gets his pocket picked. Mexico back on the run. Oscar Romero into Mendez. Off the wall, headed. And another whistle. The officials are calling this one really closely. If I had a nickel for every time I heard the whistle, I might have $1. There you go, talking about those nickels again. Jefferson back in effect.
I'm waiting to see how these fouls are going to start adding up here as the game progresses.
Stinson on the attack, trying to find Bennett. In Bennett, banks it off the wall. IB2 denied by Willie the Wall. Off the wall. Batted back by De La Torre.
Paulie Plexi to the rescue once again.
Trying to find all these clever alliterations for extra players. Pass on over to Stinson. Stinson juggles his way past his defender into Ian Bennett. Bennett in the attack zone. Shot saved by Avila. Kicked out of danger. Recovered by Stinson. Stinson trying to cross that yellow/orange line. Back on over to De La Torre.
He wants it back. Stinson wants it back. He's feeling it. He's feeling it here.
Trying to get by his defender, but Jesus Rodriguez marking him extremely well.
Oh.
Down goes Stinson. Foul on the turf.
Unfortunately, the boards blocked our view. There's a little bit of contact. You all hear from the replay. You'll see. Good battle. Good battle between Stinson and I can't tell who that is right now.
Jesus Rodriguez. And shout out to our production staff for giving us that angle.
Kidding.
Didn't get to see it from where we are.
Thank you, Chavo. Well done, buddy.
There we get the thumbs up. Chavo, in our words, in our minds, a legend for everything he's helped us out with.
He's been here as long as us, buddy. Probably longer.
Definitely longer. You and I have been here for a shot of espresso.
And we have 3 on 2. 3 on 2 if they hurry.
Pacheco to Stinson. Stinson's got space. Stinson fires it. Bangs it off the wall.
And now 3 on 2 back the other way if they hurry. Stinson's tired. They've got some numbers here and time.
Pass on over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez marked by De La Torre.
You're going to back post.
He's going to reset. Going on over to Ponce. Orel Ponce. Also of the Monterrey Flash. I have nothing but love and respect for the Monterey Flash. They treated me well when we were
Yeah,
in Monterey.
great
Arena Monterey, great facility.
great franchise. We'll miss them in the league, be honest with you.
A lot of teams we miss in the MASL. Pass on over from Tayu to Pacheco. Over to Leo Acosta. Pacheco. That one gets poked away. Martinez.
I've seen Acosta play better, man. He needs to collect the ball on his first touch.
Tayu gets dispossessed. Romero has it. Advancing past the midfield, and that's going to be a foul being assessed to Vandergriff.
He's lucky that won the blue card because that was stopping an attack, a potential attack, otherwise known as SPA.
Yair Romero of the Dallas Sidekicks and the Tacoma Stars, two legendary clubs in the world of indoor soccer. The chip in, encountered by.
Again Acosta. He's not quite on his game right now. Tacoma Stars will be an interesting team this year, Philly. Obviously with the big move of some of the guys of the Sockers, including the legendary Nick Pereira. It'll be an interesting roster for sure.
You mean the Iberian brick house, Nick Pereira? Acosta on the fast break, bats it off the wall. Nobody there. Alvaro Luavano, we've seen him play at Corner Sport Arena as a member of the Chihuahua Savage, headed up high by Mario Alvarez. And we see entering the game a newbie, a member of the MASL Combine, number 21, Samuel Arengano. The man's as tall and as big and as built as Frank Tayu, only he's a few years younger. By a few years, I'd venture to guess around 10. Pass comes over to Alvarez. Alvarez to Sanchez. Wave, looking to make a wave. Shot gets fired off of the plexi and out of play with under 10 to go here in the second quarter.
If you have just joined us, this is the culmination of the MASL Combine. It's been the last 2 days here in Oklahoma City. We had over 80 young players show their stuff to scouts and coaches in hopes of being discovered. Been really good. Some of these kids get a chance to play in this game tonight.
A very successful combine. Over 80 players for the men, almost 40 participants for the women. And that women's game, still though, the most exciting game that we've had here is that's going to be a foul assessment to Del Torre.
Highlight of the night so far.
I had a blast calling
that was fun.
game.
That was fun.
A lot of talented women there. There we see the replay.
Replay once again, just a little push from behind.
Yeah, Del Torre getting called for the foul against Gonzalez. That one's going to come off of Randy Martinez into the crowd.
Oh, and he's going to call top of the arc on that one as well too, because he was in the attack zone.
Incidental as Martinez got his dome in that place, but this is a dangerous opportunity for Mexico to double up on their lead.
Surprisingly, low-scoring affair with all the talent on the field right now.
Surprising indeed, as Luis Ayala, formerly of the Monterey Flash, is set to take the free kick. He's got Mendez to the left of him. He's got Romero to the right of him. He's got another Romero inside the box with a Gonzalez just outside. Shot gets chipped in, shot fired. Saved by Pardo!
Save. That's why he is Boris Pardo. Watch this replay and watch as Pardo gets this guy set. His hands are up. Watch the strong right hand by goalkeeper Boris Pardo. Shot, save. Spectacular is all I can say.
The Boris blockade is out in full effect. Restart though. Corner kick restart for Mexico. 9:27 here in the second quarter. Ayala bats it out, shot right into the net.
Yeah, they called the deflection, so it'll be a corner kick. First rule of a goalkeeper, brave. And brave he was. Look at him setting up his defenders. He knows exactly where he wants his guys. That's a keeper who's dialed in right now.
Dialed in, dominant, and talented. I have nothing but compliments to say about Boris Pardo. I might be slightly biased because he and I are from the same neck of the woods.
Yeah.
But the man can certainly block.
He's a New Yorker. I didn't know that.
That he is. The header from De La Torre back to Pardo. Pardo's going to roll it on over to Pacheco.
A little bit of press from Mexico here.
Pass into Stinson.
And it's successful as well too.
Bennett Bennett's going to get tripped up, and that's going to be a foul going against Ayala.
I'd like to see his foul count here at some point, Phil, because he's got to be adding up. Again, a reminder, 6 fouls on the replay. You'll see as well, too. In the corner, Bennett breaks out, a little clip from behind. 4 fouls in a half is a blue card. 6 fouls in a game is a game ejection that does not carry a blue card.
Will we see that, though, in this kind of a friendly as Pardo connects with Tayu? Tayu trying to create something. Excellent defense, though, by Mexico, denying the King an opportunity to wield his mighty scepter. That's going to deflect back on over to Pardo.
Again, that is Christian Chavez. I'm impressed with this kid.
Christian Chavez has had himself a good game. Mexico has had themselves a good game. Currently leading the United States by a score of 1-0. Ball into Sanchez. Sanchez being pressed against the boards. Still sticking with it. Finds the Canadian assassin. Well, we should really say the American assassin now.
Yep.
Ian Bennett is Canadian, still sticking with it.
This game intensity is rising just a little bit here, feeling.
And there's just so much action still left to be had. Stinson.
Look at the respect Stinson has. 2 guys.
Shot fired off the mark. Alvarez was looking for it. Sanchez now clears some space. Into Stinson. He fires it off of Paulo Plexi. U.S. recover it. Talk about an alliteration in the mouthful there. Ball comes back on over to Alvarez. Alvarez into Stinson. Stinson was motioning to Bennett to move on over. Ball comes out, shot fired off of Paulo Plexi once again. Recovered by the United States.
Just got to readjust their shooting angles here a little bit here. Plenty of opportunities here. You notice how when Stinson gets the ball, they have a second defender that comes over and covers. That's respect for the best one-on-one player in the league.
Bennett comes off, in comes in Tayu. A like for like in terms of goal-scoring prowess. Stinson fires it into Vandergrift. That ball is loose. Saved by Avila. Kicked out of danger. Romero has it.
Constant pressure by the Americans here, Philly.
A lot of pressure indeed, but they just can't seem to find that channel that they need to thwart it past. Cesar Avila, Mexico doing a good job throwing all kinds of defenders back there, denying the U.S. any clear goal-scoring opportunities.
And you'll notice how they're staying compact now, trying to frustrate the space.
It's good coaching as that ball gets recovered by Mendez. Mendez on the counter, on the run, looking to quarterback the attack. He's going to go down. Fans looking for a foul on Stinson. Mendez has it. Mendez fires it. Boris Pardo gets a fingertip on it. Kicked up top of the box. Mendez still with it. Mendez very impressive. Stinson recovers. Stinson trying to get by his defender. Ball is loose. No foul. Whistle is now called.
Ooh, and a whole line change for the Mexican national team. They really had to defend well that last shift. Still 1-0, buddy. You read my mind.
6:17 remaining here in the first half. A low-scoring affair as De La Torre passes it back on over to his keeper, Pardo. Pardo tries to find Bennett. Bennett marked by Gonzalez. Just outside of the box, he spins, he fires off of the wall.
Again, the rangefinder is just not quite on.
De La Torre dumps it off to his teammate Martinez. Pacheco, the newly minted member of the San Diego Sockers, has it back on over to Acosta of the Kansas City Comets.
Nothing to show for it right now, but this period, U.S. has established themselves.
Great pass into Acosta. Bennett has it, shot fired. Ball is loose. Where did it go? Into the hands of Cesar Avila. He's going to hold on to his lower back, but what incredible defense by Mexico.
Again on the replay, look at this press, came out.
Bennett has it, shot fired, ball is loose.
Bit of a scrum, possibly a call that the referees missed there, hitting him in the back for Avila.
And the officials are going to motion on over to the bench to pull out the trainer.
They might do the immediate timeout here right now. I would. That's just me, though.
I would say that probably is the case here, and that it is. We've had it confirmed. 5:31 remaining here in the second quarter. Mexico still up on the U.S. 1-0. Back in a moment. Go! into the helmet of Universal. In the second quarter, Mexico still leading the United States by a score of 1-0. My name's Philly. I'm joined by the legend himself, the Duke of Dallas, Eddie Pascarich. Coach, solid first half by Mexico, but still plenty of time to be had for either team to thread through the twine once again.
Yeah, I think this second quarter has been dominated a little bit by the American team, but nothing to show for it. The Mexican team is so organized, which Coach Luis leaving his mark on this team for sure.
It's all philosophy. You could have the touches, you could have the passing accuracy, you could have the shots fired away, but ultimately it's the result that matters, and the result, the only result, this hand shot by Gonzalez, the only goal scorer of the game, picked up by combine sensation Samuel Arangujo, wearing the number 24. Love that number. That's the number I wore.
Again, 5 Mexican players behind the ball. Defend with 5, attack with 5. Great philosophy.
Great chess match in this game. Very low scoring, but the action has been there. Gonzalez bats it in to Ocampo, wearing the number 27. Back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez off the wall. Leo Acosta marking his defender. Scrum on the boards as Vandergriff advances there. United States come back up with it. Acosta with Tayu. Tayu chips it in.
Oh.
The King almost headed it or kicked it through that bottom right corner.
What a great ball from Acosta, though. Oof. Acosta, excuse me.
That's going to come off the wall into the hands of Avila. His throw-in connecting with Torres. Torres goes to his right. There's some space, shot fired, and into the netting. It's going to be a goalkeeper restart for the United States.
Smart play by Vandergriff, though. Just simple. Wasn't ready to go attack the guy. Just force him into an outshot from a distance.
I know you didn't mean to do that, but that's kind of a good nickname, Chandergriff.
Chandergriff, yeah. I'm not sure if his family will enjoy that, but.
Well, shout out to the Vandergriff family, who I assume are watching this game from St. Louis, Missouri.
Well, we know Coach Stoichkov from Kansas City is watching this game. He's here in person evaluating the combine. Speaking of Kansas City and Stoichkov.
Whoa, score attempt close. As the MASL combine kid, Samuel Arangujo almost found the back of the net, what could have been an iconic goal for him for this MASL combine.
This is where Justin's good.
Stinson's got Bennett to the left of him. Stinson trying to find space. Excellent defense by Mexico. And that's going to be a foul against Arangujo. 3:18 remaining here in the second quarter.
You'll see in a replay, Stinson 1-against-1 as a block here. Just gets a toe in too late. Good call by the referee.
Ponce pounces on it.
As I was saying, speaking of the Kansas City Comets, I'll have more to say about them in the second half as we make some predictions for the year.
I know you're a big fan of the Comets, as are a lot of people in this league. It's going to be an interesting season. I can't wait for the MASL to start.
It is. Looking forward to it.
Black Friday, folks. That's when the season begins. A day after Thanksgiving. A lot of action to be had in the world of indoor, and we can't wait. Restart. De La Torre has it.
And I'm actually looking forward to the M2 season as well, too, for personal reasons.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about those personal reasons?
So Oklahoma City here, the Certified Lions, brand new M2 team, will be one of my opponents. That was an absolute swing. Nobody saw that. Quick restart. Got away with one of those, buddy. Anyhow, my M2 team is called the Texas Spurs, competing this year for the first time.
Shot fired. Off the wall. Valiant efforts by Rodriguez. Martinez bats it on over to Stinson. Stinson with a heck of a pass. Looking to make his way through with Sanchez. Sanchez trying to get by his defender.
What a ball.
Finding the king. The shot deflected.
Another great ball by Sanchez. They're creating chances. I don't have a shot stat right now in front of me, but it's got to be in favor of the American team right now, Philly.
Mexico's done an exceptional job
Very
collapsing
good.
in on Frank Tayu. Anytime he's had the ball in the attack zone, he's not had a clear look. as
Again,
the restart comes through.
Philly, one word, organization.
Restart. Alvarez has got his teammate Sanchez just behind him. Bennett right in that box. And just on the opposite side, Stinson.
Telegraph that pass.
Telegraph
Here we go.
Indeed. Romero on the counter. Opportunity here for Mexico. Look at the defense, chipped off the crossbar.
Oh, my.
Mendez nearly muscles it in. As
Wow.
we have under 2 minutes to go, Mexico had a valiant effort at scoring the second goal of the game.
Lethal counterattack. Absolutely lethal.
Lethal is a good way to put it. Both teams just going at one another so valiantly. Pacheco outside. Acosta was looking on over to Bennett, back over to Pacheco. Pacheco dribbling just outside of the attack zone, dumps it off, receives it back from Alvarez. Ball is loose, Vandergriff has it.
I would have bet you this first half would not have seen a goose egg by the American team.
Still time though for the U.S. to capitalize. 68 seconds to be precise. That's going to be a corner kick restart for the red, white, and blue as Alvarez is going to take that corner kick restart.
I'm looking at Coach Phil. I would call a timeout here and set something up with 1:08 to go.
Pass into Bennett. Bennett has it deflected off of the feet of Mendez.
You got those timeouts. May as well don't take them with you.
Alvarez looking on over to the official. A big shout out to Graham, by the way. He's helped us a great deal in today's game. And the U.S. is going to call for a timeout. Head coach Phil Salvaggio is going to pull out that clipboard and draw some X's and O's. And we're going to take a quick break as the U.S. addresses and reassesses. Stick around, 65 more seconds left to go in the first half.
Please make sure you go along our social media with the certified finance. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We are everywhere. Remember, we are
65 seconds separate us from the second quarter and halftime in this international indoor soccer showdown between the U.S. and Mexico. My name's Christian Filliman, joined by Eddie Piscarich. Mexico leading this game thus far with a goal by Edgar Gonzalez. The U.S. trying to find an answer as both teams are getting set to head into the locker room. Milwaukee waves Mario Alvarez on this restart.
Great timeout, I think, by Coach Phil to set something
Shot
up.
fired.
Oh.
Stinson off the
Oh.
mark. Another shot ding-dongs itself off the ring-a-ling-a-ling. That's not even a real term.
Charlie Crossbar is definitely in this game today.
You're liking my alliteration.
I love Charlie Crossbar.
Not sure that the United States do. The back heel from Bennett trying to find Pacheco. Advanced up, Romero with space to maneuver. Romero, his shot comes off. 37 seconds now.
Now, will Coach Luis call a timeout and set something up over here? I think not. He's already got what he wants already, it looks like.
El Profe knows what he's doing. Yet you can see standing on his chair, the tallest personnel opposite of us. Restart in that corner area. Looks like it's going to be taken by Chavez. Chavez, tallest player on the turf right now, on that corner kick restart. Dumps it off, shot, deflects, another opportunity, missed by Steven Gonzalez. Picked right back up by Gonzalez. 30 seconds left, the header, saved by Pardo again.
Save.
Boris Pardo has been phenomenal tonight. Foul on the boards. Seeing the crowd chirping a little bit as both teams get chippy with one another.
Again, Christian Chavez. Here's a foul. Couldn't quite see the replay, but Stinson did drag him down. But what a great save by Pardo from Christian Chavez's head. Oh, phenomenal.
The amount of times I've said saved by Pardo throughout my career has been insane. That shot booted into the air. A field goal kick by Emiliano Mendez.
Just a bit over the top.
Just a bit over the top and just a bit outside as we're 23 seconds away from halftime. Pardo rolls it on over to Alvarez. Alvarez passes it on over to Stinson on the left. The United States looking to fire one more off before we head into the locker room. Space created, shot, kicked out of danger. Torres chips it up high. Ball comes in, intended for Tayu. Torres has it. 2 seconds, 1 second. The attempt, that sails over the plexi, and we head on over to halftime. Folks, a low-scoring affair, but a very exciting game nevertheless. Mexico heads into the locker room up on the United States by a score of 1-0, goal courtesy of one Edgar Gonzalez, a.k.a. Torres. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we start the second half and the final half of our third game of this legendary triple header live from the OG&E Coliseum in the heartland of America, OKC, Oklahoma. Christian Phillim and Eddie Puskarich back with you in about 15.
pendejos. Bro, I know, bro. I saw you. I was like, I should be.
About 3 minutes and 30 seconds away from the start of the third quarter here in this international soccer showdown between the U.S. and Mexico. Mexico currently leading the Stars and Stripes by a score of 1-0. My name's Christian Filliman, better known as Philly, and it's my honor and distinct privilege to welcome the commissioner of the Major Arena Soccer League, Mr. Keith Tozer, on the broadcast. Keith, how's it going?
It's going great, Philly. Great to be here. Great to see you and Eddie. All these great teams that we've been watching all day long, so it's been a wonderful couple days.
Wonderful couple of days, and we came out here as a result of the MASL Combine. Talk to us a little bit about that and what you've seen these past couple of days for this wonderful Combine put on by Certified Lions.
Yeah, Phil, you know what's great about this is when Shep, JP, and I came back to the league, we thought it was really important that we get most of indoor soccer underneath one brand. So we have M1, obviously, M2, M3, and MW. And this weekend really was the first time that all four brands were together. And I think you need content as a professional league to sell. We need to find players, which there was a lot of good players here. It was great that some of the coaches from all four brands came here. I thought it was a very successful 3 days.
Very successful indeed. MW came out in full effect. That USA-Mexico game for the women to kick off this broadcast was amazing. Let's talk about the league real quick. We've contracted down to 8. Talk to us about your thoughts coming into this season.
Yeah, I think it's a vertical move for a big leap forward. Major League Soccer years ago dropped a couple teams, and then all of a sudden they sprang forward, and look where they are today. We have all respect for all the members that we've had. We brought in some different standards, so we think it's great. And by the way, the 8 teams this year are going to really be battling each other. Every team is playing against all the other teams. I think that's really cool. I think because the league is condensed into 8, I think that's wonderful. Some people think, oh my God, what's wrong with them? They only got 8 teams. I think it's powerful, and with new teams coming in the horizon, it's going to be fantastic.
And that's a great transition, because speaking of new teams, the big news throughout the offseason was the fact that Sacramento signed on. They paid their franchise fee. They're going to get a new arena. Talk to us about Sacramento's addition to the league.
Yeah, I think they're the next domino in the line of building their own arenas. You got Utica, who owns their own arena. Then you had Phil building his own arena in San Diego, and now you have Sacramento. We've been also talking to other groups that want to build stadiums between 6,500 and 10,000 in suburbs, so people don't have to go downtown. So similar to the MLS, you're going into real estate and getting out of baseball stadiums and college football stadiums and building their own. I think that's going to be the new future in M1.
And that's exactly what needs to happen. Don Garber wanted to have soccer-specific stadiums in MLS, and we're starting to build them within the indoor game. That's fantastic. Now, the league has signed a couple of interesting new sponsors in the offseason, starting with Nextfield. Talk to us about some of the new partners that we have now in the MASL.
Well, the carpet is extremely important to the game, not only for the players playing and safety, but also how it looks on television. Nextfield is a wonderful product. First started in Utica, then went to San Diego. And in the old days, the turf, as you know, is rolled up in big rolls. But the new turf, Nextfield, they come in pieces. Now you don't have carpets rolling up on the boards. It fits well. If you need to change a corporate sponsor after a year, you don't have to take a whole roll out and get it. You just take out the piece. I think it's a great sponsorship for us.
And speaking of which, the league just signed on a new director of corporate partnerships and sponsors. What are your thoughts on that new addition?
I think it's great. I don't think that anyone's got more passion than our new director of corporate sales, and that happens to be you. I think it's wonderful. I think the direction of the league is really going the way that we thought it would be going, and we're excited to have you aboard and excited about what's coming up in 25-26.
I appreciate you saying that. I'm very excited to be here, and it's not like I would just venture or leverage my future on the growth of indoor soccer if I didn't believe in the growth of this sport. Let's talk about the future. Obviously, we have a lot of good things coming up. You look at the social medias, there's a lot of trepidation, a lot of fear, but you've seen it from the get-go, a lot of growth, a lot of tremendous things. We have a lot of cool things in the pipeline. Is there anything that you can let the viewers and the listeners and the fans of the Indoor League know, something to look forward to in this upcoming season that they don't already know about?
Well, first of all, people don't like change. 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, when we brought the goalkeeper rule into the game, everybody said how terrible it was. And actually, it's been fantastic. Some of the new rules about, players going down hurt, you have to get up in 15 seconds and get into the penalty box. But I think this season, like we already discussed, condensing all these wonderful players into 8 games, we're going to be announcing what our playoff schedule is going to be. New players coming into the league. You got a new coaching change in Milwaukee. That'll be interesting. You got the competitiveness of all the teams. And, Chihuahua Savage were absolutely a fantastic champion. 3-time. Their owner, Joel, JC, they did just an awesome job. Now someone else is going to be crowned. I know people out there in the social media said it was all done by San Diego. That's not true at all. I think all 8 teams have a great opportunity to be the next MASL champion.
So I'm not going to put you on the spot and give any predictions, but obviously we've had going into the season, 8 teams, there's going to be a lot of talent, a lot of competitiveness, a lot of cool things happening. The growth of this league is going to be immense. A lot of new partnerships, a lot of new teams, a lot of new signings. Again, anything else you could allude to in terms of the growth of indoor soccer?
Well, why we're building the attendance around the league, eyeballs on television and also streaming is really important. J.P. Delacamera and our staff has done a wonderful job for television. As you know, CBS Golazo 2 years ago brought 7 games to CBS with 1 regular season game and the rest playoffs. Last year they did 40 games in the playoffs. There's going to be some exciting news coming up with television. CBS Golazo will be back. We got some other things here. And something that the league has done is that we went out to buy encoders for every team in the league so that the streaming from the arenas will get directly to the people that are watching the game. There won't be any, circular stuff going back or fading out. So it's going to be really highly professional. And JP's done a great job with her staff.
Commish, we certainly appreciate everything that you do. Being in your position is a very thankless job. I know it's one that catches a lot of flack, but you've done an incredible job. You, JP, and Shep, when you all came into the league, you said you wanted to improve things 20% at a time, 1 year at a time, going into 5 years, and you all have done a lot of tremendous things. Certainly appreciate everything that you do, and I know you have one final thought, judging by that index finger that just came up.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to Miter. They're now our official ball. They signed a 5-year contract with the league. We're going to have the Rocket Red Ball. I know Eddie remembers the Rocket Red Ball from the old days in the MISL. We are going to have Retro Week or 2 weeks towards the end of the season where we're going to bring that ball back. We're excited about that. Capelli is the official supplier. The first time ever that the league's had an online store. You can go and get MASL gear, and of course the teams that are with Capelli, you can buy the Capelli gear. So as you can see, slowly but surely things are getting done. And also we're talking about an in-season tournament like the NBA. There'll be more news to come with that in the near future.
Love it. Commissioner, we'd love to have a State of the Union a little more frequently, as a lot of fans would love more transparency in this league. I know that's something you would love to be a part of as well. Again, we thank you so much for your time and clarifying a lot of question marks that some of the fans have had. We appreciate your time, and let's enjoy the rest of the second half here at OG&E Coliseum.
Philly, thank you. I'll throw it back to Eddie.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard from the leader that steers this indoor soccer ship, Commissioner Keith Tozer, and we're going to look to have him on for more scenarios, State of the Unions, and all kinds of things. I know y'all have been clamoring for transparency, and we're going to look to give that to you here as we are in the offseason, getting closer to the start of the season. As we see a blue card issued out onto the turf against the United States. Looks like it's Tony Delatorre with the foul on Yahir Romero. It's going to be a power play for Mexico here with 11:20 remaining in the third quarter.
Yep, that was warranted, by the way. Jair was breaking out and going out on the counterattack, so now he's got a chance for the Mexican team to have their chance to power play 5 against 4. Great interview, by the way, with Philly with Keith Tozer. I've known Keith for a long time, played against him. I played for him twice, once in L.A. and once in Milwaukee, so he's done wonders for the league. I'm excited about the wave of enthusiasm MASL has right now.
He's done wonders for the leagues in so many ways. As a player, getting drafted, playing with the Cincinnati Kids, obviously his coaching prowess, being the all-time winningest coach in the MASL, now being a commissioner, a thankless job leading this league. We've got a lot of good things being built up into the fans out there that have had a lot of negative things to say. Look, we hear you, and we're here to build. Don't you worry. MASL is going nowhere.
Agree. Speaking of going nowhere, it's still 1-0 Mexico versus the U.S. So
the lowest scoring game we've had all day, by the way.
I did not expect this. Neither did you.
No, not at all. But Mexico's been playing incredibly well.
But it's been entertaining. There's not been for lack of effort, lack of chances. It's a great game so far.
100%. I haven't been bored one bit.
No chance.
The only thing I could say is after tonight, I probably won't be able to talk for a good 48 hours.
Yeah.
So that ball comes in on the left side.
Your wife might enjoy that.
Off the wall.
Sorry, Panda.
Shout out to my wife, Amanda the Panda. I'm not sure if she's listening. If you are, I love you, and I'll be home tomorrow. Torres to his left. Bats it out of the attack zone. Into Ayala.
Under a minute to go in this power play.
Ayala has it just outside of the attack zone. He's going to wind up and fire. Boris Pardo gets his paws on it once again. Boris Pardo, easily my player of the game for the United States.
He's been good. He's been really good.
Another shot gets fired. Not in the direction that one would have wanted it, but Mendez has been an absolute pest against the United States all day long.
I'm not quite sure how much time is left, but I believe it's under 30 seconds here, Philly.
So about
21 seconds.
That's the mathematics.
And our producers are on top of things. Thank you, gents.
Restart for the United States here as that ball gets batted across the midfield, intended for Frank Tayu. Intercepted right by Mexico. Looking on the attack is Torres. Torres with space. Torres to his left. Can Mexico capitalize on this counter? Ball comes back into Gonzalez. He goes to his right to Romero. Romero, that deflects.
Counterattack.
Off.
He's out. He's out. If they can find him for the counterattack.
Martinez with the hustle. He gets taken down, drawing the foul. And that's going to go against Ayala here with 9:11 to go in the third.
Again, you see on the power or on the replay, dragged him down. Nothing but a foul. Simple foul, if there is such a thing.
There's nothing simple about a foul, in particular when you go down. You and I got to walk on that turf. Little bouncy, but very comfortable, by the way.
Yeah, I could wear cleats on it if I was playing back in the day.
And it's been a minute since you've played.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I played, trust me.
Well, shoot, I got to ask you, the state of the game. What's everything that you've seen here, you've coached.
It's different. The game's changed, obviously. When I played, we didn't bring the ball out as much. Futsal has affected the game a lot. When I played, we went in and we shot and we attacked. And we're a little more physical in the game the way the game's played. The game's a little more technical right now. Not a bad thing, not a good thing. It's just changing. You got to change with the times.
A lot of people within indoor soccer like to hang on to the nostalgia, and I'm going to ask you a question. What was your favorite memory about being a professional indoor soccer player?
Winning the title in 1991.
That's a pretty darn good memory.
Yeah, without hesitation.
Elaborate. Talk to us. Talk to the people that don't know what that means.
You play your whole life, you play your whole career for a chance to win the title. That's what drives any athlete. Football, basketball, hockey, golf. I mean, you play to win. And when you get to that ultimate stage and you win, it is nothing better. We won our last 12 games. It was a stroke of magic at a sweet team in Chicago, Chicago Power. Teammates and friends for life from that experience that no one can take away. And it's just a magical ride. And to have that in my memory, thanks for letting me bring it up again, buddy. It's brilliant.
Yeah, of course. Something I learned about you recently that just absolutely blew my mind. You went to Southern Methodist University. You were a Mustang. I talked to you about the ESPN 30 for 30 Pony Express.
Yes,
I didn't
sir.
realize that you played football on that Mustangs team.
I did. I was a part of the Pony Express, and I'm in that 30 for 30 ESPN excess twice, actually. So great experience, actually. It's helped mold my pro career as a soccer player.
Well, you're sitting here with me, which means you didn't get those paychecks
No,
that some of
sir.
the other players did during that era. But you've seen some stories.
Well,
you've seen some things.
You do know what NIL stands for now, right?
You
now
told
it's
me
legal.
Now it's legal. That's the best acronym that I heard all day long as we see a foul and a whistle blown on the turf.
Which, by the way, I will say I'm expecting Congress at some point to get involved because it's out of control. You know, you get these kids making more money as a college athlete than do as a pro.
Not sure if you heard the news, but U.S. Soccer wants to implement promotion relegation to the NCAAs when it comes to soccer, which to me, that's a wild scenario.
Hey.
Ball gets batted well into the stands, onto the concourse, the beautiful concourse. That's the OG&E Coliseum, and that's going to take us into immediate timeout. Folks, stick around. We haven't had many goals tonight, but this game is far from boring. 1-0 in favor of Mexico. Back in a moment. You're watching the greatest show on turf, live from the OG&E Coliseum. .7:28 remaining here in the third quarter, live from the OG&E Coliseum. My name's Christian Filliman, joined by Eddie Puskarich. This has been a low-scoring affair, but a very entertaining game of indoor soccer. Our third of this triple header. The most low-scoring affair thus far, but far from the most exciting. Well, I'd take that bet. Vandergriff manages to come right back up with it. Ball comes over to Pacheco. Pacheco tries to connect with his former teammate, Nada Frank Tayu. Tracking back heavily is Chavez. Into the midfield, Mexico on the attack, trying to find some space. Look at the maneuvering. Going through, getting past the defender of the year in Vandergriff. Shot gets threaded through. Excellent play as that one gets batted outside. Look, Oscar Ocampo making the moves, the sweet moves on the left. Found the space, didn't get the trajectory, but a heck of an attack by Mexico coming out of the break. Acosta has the ball rolled over to him from... Oh, what a goal! Que golazo! A turnover, but Christian Chavez buries it. Upper right corner. Uncle Franz, where have you been? You keep the good schnapps in that corner. What a goal. Mexico up 2-0. Dos-0. You mentioned that as we started our broadcast almost, 7 hours ago? We've been talking for a while. It's why my voice sounds so hoarse. The United States find themselves down 2-0. Mexico looking to walk out of here. El Profe himself, Borrego, looking to come out with a dub as that foul's going to be assessed against the U.S. Mexico has it on the restart. El Profe Borrego looking at us for what? Well, with the score only being 2-0, that might be an interesting way to go. But the United States They've found a couple of shots on frame, but not very many. And all things considered, with the amount of talent and firepower on here, very surprising that they find themselves down 2-0 against the Mexico team that features a lot of players from the M2 side. Another shot almost threaded through. Battle on the boards. Martinez goes on over to Pardo. Pardo pokes it off the boards. He's going to recap it. Pardo's made some excellent saves. If it wasn't for his ability and his skill, Mexico would have at least been up 4-0 at this point. Pardo has easily made some of the most tremendous saves that we've seen all afternoon. Romero, as that one bounces off and back to Pardo. And that's going to be a restart here with 5 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Mexico up on the United States by a score of 2-0. Mexico now has it in a very dangerous position. As Torres himself, the bull, can he bully and bury that one? He opts out, goes to the official. Mexico calls a timeout, and we're going to take a TO with El Tri. 2-0 in favor of Mexico. Back in a moment. You're watching the Indoor Soccer International Showcase from the OG&E Coliseum. .522 remaining here in the third quarter of this international soccer showdown between the U.S. and Mexico. El Tri currently up on the Stars and Stripes 2-0. It's been all Mexico here, a top-of-the-arc restart in a dangerous scenario. Against the United States is Romero set to take it. He's got some lethal weapons at his disposal. What's he going to opt for? Chip through into Torres. Opportunity as Tayu advances. Avila.
Smart play. Safety. And then after that, a little more safe.
Frank Tayu, the most prolific scorer in indoor soccer, was denied an opportunity at a one-on-one, and you said it. Cesar Avila advances up top, breaks up the play. The United States haven't had very many dangerous looks here in the third quarter, needing to rectify that if they're going to look to beat a team that features players from the M2. Acosta heads it, tries to find Stinson, taken away by Mendez. That ball is going to bounce out. Look, what does that say about the talent that happens in Mexico? Because the vast majority of this team is Chihuahua Savage 2 and San Diego Sockers 2, going up against some talented, legendary players of the United States.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I'm looking over here on the bench for the U.S. There's not a lot of enthusiasm. There's nobody getting ready for the sixth attacker. They look a bit defeated, a little frustrated right now.
Ian Bennett trying to fight for it.
Hats off to the Mexican national team. They played really well today.
Under 5 to go here in this third quarter. And shout out to this public address announcer here at the OG&E Coliseum trying to get this crowd up and roaring. It's been a lot of action here. Eddie, you and I have been on the call for about 7 hours right now. I mean, the fact that you and I are still standing, actually sitting, is amazing to me.
Well, we were standing, but we've talked so much we have to sit now.
No Elton John here. We're still standing. No. The pass comes in, deflects off.
I just don't see a lot of passion right now. Not passion, I'm taking that back. Energy.
No, I would say passion and enthusiasm. The United States can't find themselves an opening, a gap, a flank, a seam, a channel. Mexico's going to come out, and honestly, considering how talented both teams are, if this Mexico team wins with an entire roster for the most part featuring M2 talent, what does that say about the top flight of indoor soccer?
I don't have an answer for that question. Let's just keep that rhetorical for right now.
Fair enough. Still plenty of time to be had. 3:50 left to go here in this third quarter. The restart.
Delay, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Now it's Americans' ball. First time we've seen that call tonight.
3:48 now.
Again, still no action on the bench for a 6-attacker jersey.
Now it's either going to be Randy Martinez or Mario Alvarez on this restart. Look to the left, a wide open Alex Sanchez. Dumped off to Alvarez. Alvarez fires it in, deflected off by Romero. Recovered by the Americans. Almost picked right back up by Romero. And that's going to come out of play. U.S. is just having such a challenging time finding their space.
They cannot break the organization for the Mexican national team. Tayu's back on the field again now.
Pardo, who has been the shining star for the U.S. Oh, my Lord, Frank Tayu with a near golazo of the summer.
That would have been absolutely spectacular.
Mexico on the counter. Can they find the counter? The pass in. Randy Martinez. Excellent defense. Looks like somebody lost the shin guard as Tayu bats it on over to Martinez.
Wow, what an absolute phenomenal bike Frank hit. That would have been a goal of the night by far.
The King was trying to wield that mighty scepter. You know he's hungry for it. Stinson, very quiet in the second half. Tries to find Acosta. That ball's going to come back to Avila. It bounces on over to Martinez. Martinez being pressed aggressively by Mexico is going to go back to Pardo.
Under 2:30, I still don't see anybody donning the 6-attacker jersey. I'm a little surprised about that. I'm not going to lie to you, Phil.
I'm surprised as well. I mean, we might see that to start the fourth quarter, unless the United States can thread through the twine. The pass from Stinson to Pacheco, right in that midfield.
My apologies. You know how long it's been so far? This is the third quarter, my friend.
What'd you say?
I thought it was the fourth quarter.
No, that's what your subconscious is willing, considering the fact that we've been calling games since 4 p.m. local time.
People back home will go, what is that guy drinking?
Celsius.
Obviously not enough.
I got nothing. I'm just gonna shut my pie hole here in terms of what I'm thinking.
That's funny.
I'm not thinking. What I know is that 2 minutes and 8 seconds here in the third quarter. That shot from Ian Bennett gets blocked. There's a shot opportunity right into the breadbasket of Boris Pardo. Look, you're gonna have to wake up pretty early in the morning to pass through Pardo. Pass comes into Stinson. Can Stinson create some magic and maybe some buzz to help the United States? Whistle gets blown.
They didn't call a foul, or did they?
Buzz.
I don't believe so. Just a little quick stoppage to make sure he was okay.
Well, that's going to give the United States an opportunity here as that ball is being pushed back into the midfield. Drop ball for Alvarez. Pass off the wall. Stinson turns his defender with some space. Stinson, can he create that magic? Off the wall. Nothing to be had there. That bounces. Mexico picks it right back up. The United States pressing forward. Acosta trying to create a turnover.
That was Chavez once again, Philly. Another impressive performance by that young man.
Counterattack off the wall. Bounces hard. Another opportunity. Pressed off. Pardo makes another outstanding save. Pardo quickly rolls it into Pacheco. Pacheco across the midfield. Here's a shot for the United States.
Oh.
And another excellent defensive play by Mexico. Ocampo denies Pacheco. And it's going to be, I thought I saw Avila motion for a timeout. We're under a minute to go here in the fourth quarter.
Third quarter. Now you're like me.
Oh, geez, you bled into my thought process.
I think we're both just a little
Yeah,
tired,
we're both
buddy.
a tiny bit knackered. That's okay. It is what it is.
It
Torres.
is what it is.
Back on over to Chavez. Mexico slicing through the United States defense. 24 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Pass intercepted easily by the Stars and Stripes. Can they strike one more time with the numbers? Pass on over to IB2. IB2 shot comes right off of Mendez. 11 seconds to go. Restart for the United States. Can they find one more look on frame before this third quarter expires?
I'm still in shock. I was looking for a 6 attack in the third quarter.
I'm still in shock. My vocal cords are still alive. Shot fired in. Another excellent save. 8 seconds. That looks like it's going to be all there is done dare as Pardo dumps it into the corner, finding Tayu. And that's the horn. We end the third quarter. One more to be had. Mexico leading the United States by a score of 2-0. One more quarter separates us from the rest of Saturday night. Stick around. Still more action to be had from the OG&E Coliseum. One more quarter to go here in this International Soccer Showdown live from the OG&E Coliseum. My name's Christian Filliman. I'm joined by the legend Eddie Puskarich. Coach, we got one more quarter to go. This has been a very closely compact, tightly contested matchup between the USA and Mexico, with Mexico currently up on the Stars and Stripes by a score of 2-0.
Let me specify. It is the fourth quarter.
We had to adjust ourselves a couple of times because our subconscious advanced themselves well before the actuality of the game happened. Can the USA thread through?
It's been such a long day, we've had to have one of our referees replaced.
Shot fired. What a save by Avila. Denying Sanchez of what would have been a golazo. Vandergrift puts it into play. Back on over to Stinson. Stinson looking to skirt his way past Mendez. That's going to come back over to Vandergrift. Vandergrift of the Kansas City Comets connects with Stinson. Vandergrift goes on over to Pardo. Pardo under duress with Mendez attacking him. What a battle. Shot, and that's going to come nearly towards me.
Almost.
Lord knows I can't get called for a handball under these circumstances. As we see the president of the NASLW, Josh, almost getting his head taken off there. Restart here for Mexico. Mexico has been not necessarily dominating this game, but controlling it very well. All things considered, a very young team going up against a very veteran team of the United States.
Here we go.
Stinson.
Again, look at the recovery by the Mexican team.
If there's going
what
to
a
be
ball.
anybody, over to Acosta. Acosta with space, trying to find it. He buries it into the upper netting. Absolutely nuclear on his attempt, well off frame. That's going to be a goalkeeper restart for Mexico.
You know, what a good player, just off his game a little bit tonight. Could be a bit of sharpness, could be a little fatigue, I'm not quite sure, but that's got to be a goal. Again, 2-0, 2-0.
Very rare is a clean sheet in the world of indoor soccer. What a statement it would be if Mexico can hang on to this game. Martinez on over to Alvarez. Alvarez advancing it across the midfield with space. Alvarez's shot. Mario Alvarez! Bottom corner from the turf to the twine. The United States find the back of net for the first time. It is now 2-1.
Avila got caught expecting to pass. You'll see him. Stands his ground, goes down early, expecting a cross. Near post, down low. Oh, finally the U.S. breaks through. Now let's see what happens here, Philly.
Well, that completely changes the trajectory of this game. It's even more closely compact, 2-1. Alvarez, 10 years in the MASL, had all career highs last season. Goes back to the days of the Chicago Mustangs.
There you go.
Finds the twine. Can the U.S. capitalize right now? Has the momentum shifted? Ball is loose. Pardo. That deflects in a weird way. Back on over to Stinson. Stinson finds Vandergrift. Vandergrift trying to advance it out of the defensive third to Pacheco. Ball comes back over. Romero intercepts. Romero to his left. Finds Gonzalez. He goes down to the boards. No foul called. That's going to come off. Recovered by Vandergrift. Vandergrift's going to go back to Pardo. Pardo finds Stinson. The Stingers, we like to call him, out of St. Charles, Missouri. Finds his old teammate back in the days of the Ontario Fury. Jesus Pacheco puts his defender on skates. Excellent footwork by Sweet Pete Pacheco.
He's a great player. I love watching him play. So quick, so skillful.
Tayu chests it. That's it. Now, what Pacheco has done since coming into the league as a rookie up until now, it's amazing. I think he came in trying out for the once Ontario Fury. Great pass threaded through. Vandergrift with an exceptional tackle.
Yeah, he's Mr. Reliable, isn't he?
Mr. Reliable, Mr. Yes, Mr. You Can't Get By Me. A defender of the year in the league. And I'd have to double check the records. Not sure if he's the all-time record holder when it comes to blocks, but he's certainly within the top 2 or 3. Ball comes into Tayu. Tayu tried to spin around, dumping himself right on it as Avila. And he's going to slow things down.
We got an injury here now.
An injury or a cramping situation. The official blows their whistle with 11 minutes and 56 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. The United States finally thread through the netting.
You know, Philly, I'm not quite sure how fit both these teams are in terms of sharpness and in terms of physical fitness, because the season doesn't open until, what are we at? Thanksgiving weekend, right?
Yeah, we're looking at Black Friday.
Yeah, Black Friday.
About a month and change.
So camp opens for most of these teams in late October, early November. So these guys are staying fit throughout the season.
No, they are.
Throughout the summer, playing outdoors. Some of these guys playing some indoor exhibition games.
Look, a lot of them are. I mean, we see their social media posts as that ball bounces.
Oh, again, I wish the referee would let the play go for a little bit longer. You can always call it back, but let the play go. He took a goal-scoring opportunity away again.
Oh, I thought Rodriguez had himself a clear path at Boris Pardo. Top of the arc, well, almost top of the arc restart for El Tri. Mendez quarterbacks the attack here with 11:51 remaining in the match. Is he going to go to the left? Is he going to go to the right? Tries to thread it through. That's going to pass on over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez into Avila. A lot of these players do compete regularly in cash prize tournaments. Randy Martinez intercepts.
3-on-2 if they hurry.
Promising attack for the United States. Can they find the equalizer here? As time not necessarily on their side. And that pass is going to come out to Alvarez. Alvarez to Sanchez. Two players that have that chemistry, know each other real well. Can these Milwaukee mates wave their way through? Martinez into Tayu.
I like that, you sneaky boy, you.
I tried. Another wave player. Over to Martinez. Martinez back over to Tayu. Tayu.
Watch Sanchez on his backside sneaking around.
Telegraphed, intercepted by Mendez. Mendez has an opportunity here. Finds it. Oh, and Pardo gets his tips on it once again. And that's going to be a foul in that corner.
Okay.
Tarjeta Azul, blue card. The Smurf is back out.
You'll see on the replay here, one-on-one. I don't know if Pardo got a little nick on it. I just missed it. But a silly foul in the corner leads to a blue card and a 2-minute penalty, an advantage for the Americans, who are still down 2-1 with 10:42 left to play. Very important man advantage right now.
Once again, a big shout out to our production staff. I thought Pardo got his paws on it, but obviously the replay indicated otherwise. Wouldn't have been a surprise if Pardo did get his hands on it, as he's made so many incredible saves in this game. Mendez is going to head on over to the bin of sin. Can the United States capitalize here with 10:42 remaining in the fourth quarter? They're only down by 1. Very low-scoring affair in indoor soccer in general.
What a good game Mendez has had. Been impressed with him as well.
Oh, 100% as Tayu gets pressed off the ball by Gonzalez. The miter ball, shout out to the official ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League, finds its way on over to Ian Bennett. Ian Bennett passes back on over to Alvarez. Alvarez.
Looking forward to that retro orange ball we used to have back in the day.
I wanted to bury the lead, but Commissioner Keith Tozer already said it. You're going to see that orange ball shot fired off of the El Tree wall. Poked. Actually, Alvarez is going to hustle back.
Make that hit Tayu. Give Tayu the credit for the block.
Yeah, that's true. Tayu, an offensive threat, does make a lot of defensive plays as well, and he's going to get the credit for that. Stinson with a lot of space to operate. Sorry, I muffled my words there. On over to Alvarez. Alvarez goes to his right to Sanchez. Sanchez has a tough touch, recovered by Mexico.
Don't let him out. Oh.
Recovered. About a minute or so to go within this power play. United States still hasn't gotten a shot off. Stinson fires it well off frame.
Deflected. It'll be a corner kick for the U.S.
9:29 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Can the U.S. find their way through the twine within this power play effort, as Ian Bennett's going to take that corner kick restart? Shot fired. It almost went through. Almost went through by Sanchez.
Pauly Plexiglass arises again.
Paulo Plexiglass, whatever you want to call. One-on-one opportunity. Look at the defense by Alvarez. And that's going to be a blue card against Tayu.
Silly Frank. He's not going anywhere. 2 against 1. Frank knows better than that. You'll see in a replay here, obvious push in the back.
Actually, no, not against Tayu.
Yeah. Oh, against our young newcomer.
Well, actually, if you looked at the replay, it didn't seem as if Frank even got his.
It is Frank.
I'd have to see that once again. I don't know if my eyes deceived me based on fatigue.
Yeah, Frank pushed Gonzalez in the back. Unfortunately, I think it was a silly play by Frank. You didn't need to do that. There's no danger there at all. You're already up a man advantage.
Let's take a look at that again.
You'll see him push him in the back.
Ever so slight. I mean, it looks like, do we have a challenge flag?
We have a challenge flag by Phil. Phil's challenging.
The officials are looking at the monitor right now to determine whether or not that was an actual foul.
No, actually, Philly, they're looking to see if it was an actual goal first. Coach Phil is challenging the previous attack to see whether the ball crossed
Oh,
the line or
Pardo
not.
gets his tips on it once.
If I heard the referees correctly, and they do not have the replay.
So we don't have the replay clear, but the ball would have to completely cross through that line for it to count as a goal. Social media
And he does not get his flag back because
and the officials wave it off.
now this is where I feel bad. Referee has to go and tell Coach Savaggio, "Hey, sorry, pal, we don't have a replay for that." And yes, you lose your flag.
And you could tell by the body language that Salvaggio's
look at-
not thrilled
Look
about
at the
it.
bench.
Chomping on over him and Mark Litton. See Craig Rodas on the other side just looking down at the turf knowing that wasn't a call that was going to favor the Stars and Stripes.
But if you don't have the video, you don't have the video. Nothing you can do about it. And the rule states you lose your flag. And now you still have Frank Taillou in the box, so it's 4 against 4.
4 against 4, but it's going to be a power play that's going to fall in favor of Mexico as Taillou is going to be in the box obviously a little longer than Mendez.
So a little bit of confusion here, Philly. Give him a chance to sort this out. It's obviously Mexico's ball. It's 4 against 4 for, if my producer can remind me the time of the penalty. Let's see how much time we have left before Mendez comes out of the box, and then it'll be a power play in favor of the Mexicans.
It'll be a restart as Avila, the goalkeeper for Mexico, advances it across midfield.
Smart. Now he becomes a regular field player when he crosses the halfway line.
Utilizing a little bit of that Coach Onua Obasi style, chips it into that back corner. That's a style implemented by the reigning MASL Coach of the Year.
Well
Battle
deserved.
on the boards. Stinson on over to Pacheco. Pacheco still with it. Pacheco somehow still hangs on to it. Pacheco showing us all that skill. Power play evaded, or penalty kill evaded, as Mendez comes back onto the turf. Mexico has the man advantage. The United States looking to kill that man advantage as Pacheco connects in with Stinson. Stinson on over to Sanchez. Headed. Mendez now has it. And that's going to be a whistle, a foul going against the United States' Mario Alvarez.
Now, you may see the referees with 8:16 to go. You see the replay here, definitely a foul, but you may see the referees with 8:16 to go keep their blue cards in their pockets rest of this game and make sure they're not a factor in an outcome.
Mexico has it on the attack now. Frank Taillou still in the box for the United States. Power play advantage goes towards El Tri. Ball comes into the right to Torres. Torres kicks it right back out. Can Mexico capitalize on this power play opportunity? Torres, a deadly player. Romero off of the wall. Pacheco breaks it out. And that's going to bounce back on over to the United States' bench. Looks like Austin Salazar, wearing the number 88 out of the MASL Combine, gets his hands on it. With how close this game is, I doubt Phil Salvaggio is going to bring in this Combine player, as the United States are looking to make a statement against Mexico. This young Mexico team absolutely running the gamut against the Stars and Stripes. Pass out, chipped into the left, shot off of Charlie, crossbar.
Charlie again. I'll tell you what, Phil, the referees missed an opportunity to have a media timeout because the ball went out of bounds, which would give the U.S. a chance to recover and rest. Instead, they kept playing.
Shot fired off of the boards. Recovered by Mexico. Passed on over to Ayala. Ayala just outside of the attack zone. Goes to his left. Mendez has it. Juggles it back on over to Ayala. Ayala threads it back on over.
Taillou's out of the box.
Power play killed. Torres heads it. Off the wall. Ball is loose. Taillou charging forward as that ball elevates into the air. Picked up by Romero. Mendez was calling for it. Wide open on the left. Shot. That's going to deflect. Off the United States is Alvarez. The Stars and Stripes having a difficult time advancing the ball across out of their attack, out of their defensive third. Martinez settles in on it, resets things, and the U.S. finally get a breather as Mexico was pressing aggressively up high.
Next stoppage out of play of the ball. It will result in immediate timeout.
Martinez over at Alvarez. Ball comes loose as Gonzalez presses up high on him. Intercepted by Torres. Kind of falls on it as Bennett recovers. Bennett had a lot of opportunistic chances in the first quarter. Has been silenced in the second half. Pass comes into Vandergriff. Vandergriff goes to De La Torre. De La Torre with Gonzalez on him, gets by. Gonzalez, De La Torre is going to trip up. No foul on Gonzalez as De La Torre trips up on the turf monster. Picked up by Mendez. Mendez with a one-on-one opportunity with Pacheco. Slices in shot. That deflects and back to the hands of Pardo.
Wow, the old sniper almost came into play there, didn't it?
Almost pulled a punisher, but Boris Pardo was in the right place at the right time. Once again, pass on over to Acosta. Stinson was advancing forward, did not receive that pass. Pacheco over to Vandergriff. Vandergriff finds Stinson. Stinson being marked aggressively. Goes back towards the midfield to Vandergriff. Vandergriff on over to Alvarez. Alvarez gets dispossessed as that ball ricochets and back over. Got a player down on the turf from Mexico. Play resumes as Leo Acosta into the attack zone. Acosta marked by Gonzalez. Down on the turf momentarily was Oscar Romero, but he's back up on his feet.
I think the U.S. got away with one. I believe that was a striking of an opponent. Should have been a blue card. Like I said, they're going to get the and there'll be a foul on that one.
Perhaps a receipt given. And Stinson's down on the ground. He draws the foul by Oscar Romero. Let's take a look at that replay again.
There's a replay there. Interesting enough, the referee pulled the card out of his pocket and put it back in. Let's see if Stinson's okay, first of all.
Stinson's definitely okay. The kid is built out of brick.
Timeout.
Media timeout. Or
finally, media timeout.
4 minutes and 31 to go, folks. Hang on to your seats. That's the most prolific and polite way I can put it. 4:31 remaining as Mexico leads the Stars and Stripes 2-1. Back in a moment with the final part of tonight's triple header.
We are the greatest show on turf.
4:31 remaining in this triple header here from the OG&E Coliseum. The United States trailing Mexico by a score of 2-1. My name's Christian Filament. I am joined by Eddie Puskarich. Folks, we've been calling games since 4 p.m. local time. This cannot go to overtime. My vocal cords are depending on it.
Yeah.
Pass comes in to Stinson to the right. What were you going to say, Coach?
Now I'm looking at the bench to see if we have a 6 attacker jersey because we have 4.5 to go in the fourth quarter.
We need to be very clear about that as our subconscious mind got well ahead of us as that pass comes into Leo Acosta. Acosta bats it back out to Alvarez. Alvarez to his left. Finds his teammate Sanchez of the Milwaukee Wave. Threads it through into Stinson. Stinson comes out of the attack zone. Sanchez weighing his options. Defender directly in front of him. Passes it back out to Acosta. Acosta tries to put on the fancy-dancy razzle-dazzle footwork. Sticks with it. Over to De La Torre. Under 4 minutes to go. IB2. Ian Bennett goes back on over to De La Torre. De La Torre to Sanchez. Sanchez trying to find some space. Mexico doing a good job staying compact, denying the U.S. any opportunities to find any space. Stinson has it. Ball gets pressed back to the midfield.
And I do believe Alvarez has donned the 6 attacker jersey, Phil.
Bennett over to Pardo.
Let's see if they'll change on the fly. Change on the fly.
Pardo is coming out. It's going to be a sixth attacker scenario for the Stars and Stripes. Can they capitalize, or will the dagger go against the sixth attacker? Pass comes on to Sanchez. Sanchez with Rodriguez in front of him. Connects with De La Torre. De La Torre is going to get pressed up top. High. Stinson across the midfield. 2:50 to go.
Good.
Back on over.
They did that quite well.
Alvarez.
They did that quite well to get Alvarez the ball ahead of the line, so now he's a regular field player.
Stinson was looking into the boxes. Ian Bennett shot off target. Recovered by El Tree. Battle on the boards. Recovered by Mexico. It's going to come up to Alvarez. 2:26 to go. Can the U.S. find anything against this compact Mexico defense? Alvarez trying to thread it through into Stinson. Across into the attack zone. Back on over to Alvarez. Alvarez to his right finds Sanchez. Sanchez has Acosta to him. Off the wall. Tries to find it. Wallace scored a Tayu. Broken up by El Tree. And that's going to be a top of the arc restart. The U.S. now have 122 seconds remaining to find the back of the net. Otherwise, they're going to take the L on the chin against a young Mexico team.
And a very, very important restart here with the extra attacker. Top of the arc, look for something down low here, possibly slotting the ball across. You're overloading the left-hand side. Bennett, Stinson, and Sanchez. You'll see some movement over here. Timeout by Savaggio. Set something up. This will be very, very unique when they come out of this timeout.
There was a band called Europe from the 80s that created a song called The Final Countdown, and that's exactly where we are. Back in a moment, we're going to take a quick break. 2:02 remaining here in this international indoor soccer showdown. USA, Mexico, 2-1 in favor of Mexico. Back in a moment.
Come on, Red! Hey! Dale. Dale, perros, dale, güey, dale.
2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in this matchup. Top of the arc restart in a dangerous position as the United States has an ample opportunity here to find an equalizer. Mario Alvarez is going to be set to take it. He's got Frank Tayu to that right post. What's it going to be? The shot. Stinson fires. Stinson, upper right corner. Uncle Franz, say hello again. You keep the good stops there. The U.S. with the equalizer.
Dale, perros, dale.
The stinger stings Mexico. It's 2-2 with under 2 remaining. He had a fantastic game, just a silly motion for dissent. Now he's not going to be able to finish this one off. It's 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. What quarter did I say? Fourth quarter. I don't know. I've lost track of life. Two to two.
Earlier.
Well, the question will be whether we go true MASL rules and have a 10-minute overtime, or will we go directly to a shootout? There's contact there. That's going to be a foul being assessed to number 7, Luis Ayala, knocking down Justin Stinson, and Ayala arguing aggressively to the officials. He's got to get separated. Borrego, El Profe is out. Things getting chippy here with 1:45 remaining in the fourth.
This is unfortunate. Unfortunately, striking an opponent as he did, there will be a card issued. I'm showing it shortly.
Stinson getting pulled back up by Pardo and Tayu. 1:45 left in this fourth quarter. You said it at the top of the broadcast, nothing friendly about this friendly, as both teams very hungry for a dub.
Now we're going to have a referee. So the fourth official on this side is responsible for seeing some action the referees miss on the field. Obviously, he did that. Now he's explaining to them what he saw so they can make a determination. So there's been no blue card shown. We're calling the captains over to try and
Well, the question will be whether we go through NSL rules and have a 10-minute overtime, and we could still see that Luis Ayala. Who would it be assessed to? Let's take a look at the replay again. And Ayala's going to get targeted with tarjeta roja as he claps to the referee. A lot of boo birds flying in the OG&E Coliseum. And there we see the anger even by Mendez. Referees are losing control of this matchup, and a yellow card being issued to the bench. Cooler heads not prevailing for Mexico right now, and honestly, the United States, if they can, capitalize on it.
Well, the good thing is, while the Mexican team is a bit disorganized, the 5 players from the U.S. on the field are having a powwow, setting up some stuff.
We haven't seen many cards issued throughout this triple header. That's the first and only red card that we've seen. Ayala heading himself over to the locker room. Mendez actually making a mess out of that penalty box.
Thank you.
Potentially, unless one of these two squads can find the back of the net. But goals have been very hard to come for both teams. 2-2, the lowest scoring game that we've had in this triple header. The quick restart over to Alvarez. Can the U.S. capitalize on this power play? Stinson, who attracted the foul moments ago, goes back over to Alvarez. Alvarez into Stinson in the attack zone. That's going to come out of the box. 90 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Can the U.S. find their channel? Sanchez wide open to the right. Alvarez goes over to his teammate from Milwaukee. Back up top. Tayu and Bennett on opposite sides of the box. Pass comes into Stinson. 1:07 remaining. Stinson, will we have some magic here? Stinson has it. Stinson with space goes back to Alvarez. Over to Stinson. Stinson. We're going to go a little tiki-taka back and forth. Sanchez has it. He's going to fire it. Walla off to Stinson. Alvarez. Alvarez back over to Stinson. Stinson fires it off of Paulo Plexi into Sanchez. Sanchez restarts it over to Alvarez. 33 seconds remaining. Sanchez has it now on the right side. Can the U.S. capitalize? Stinson with space on the left side. Alvarez. Shot. Or pass, I should say. That one comes high. 50-50 ball won by the U.S. 12 seconds. Shot. Looking for space. Over. Take it away. Looks like we're going to head into overtime unless a miracle happens. That's going to come off of Gonzalez. A corner kick restart. Literally 1 second left on the game clock. And barring some insanity, we're heading to a draw after this fourth quarter. Oh, who's just to the right of you? Restart here. Sanchez in that corner. Second separates us. Almost. That was oh so close. Broke it up. Excellent defense by Mexico to deny the U.S. the go-ahead. And that's going to conclude the fourth quarter. Overtime if we're playing these MASL rules. I don't know what to tell you either. All I know is my flight back to LA is at 7 a.m., so I guess I can hang out for a few more hours with you, my man. Oh, geez, you're really making that drive back to Dallas? Now you should probably hang out. And speaking of which, y'all should hang out too while we take a quick break before we start this overtime golden goal scenario coming up in just a moment. So under normal MASL rules, we would have gone into a 10-minute overtime, but We're going towards a shootout right now, same as we did in the USA versus Mexico women's game. So things have gotten really interesting here, as Mexico is going to be the first of the two teams to take the penalty kick, and there looked to be an interesting dialogue between Edgar Gonzalez, a.k.a. Torres, the gentleman who scored the first goal of the game, and Boris Pardo.
They know each other quite well. They're exchanging pleasantries. How's the family? Good. How's your family? Oh, really good.
Will Torres put it past Pardo. Shot fired. He misses off the wall, and Pardo's going to have a little dialogue with him. They're going to smile but give each other a competitive handshake. That was a close call. So Mexico not capitalizing on their first opportunity, and now that's going to give the United States a situation here with Justin Stinson set to square off against Cesar Avila.
Here we go. Here's the guy you want in this situation right here.
Will the Stinger sting El Tree? Whistle gets blown. Stinson shot denied by Avila. Oh, this is going to get better and better. You and I are putting in an 8-hour shift on this broadcast. Both Stinson and Gonzalez get denied.
Score remains 2-2 after one round. Total of 3 rounds in this shootout.
And this is going to be Pardo. I believe he's going to square off against number 11, Jesus Rodriguez. Savage 2 taking on the Sockers. Rodriguez shot. Upper corner, top shelf. Mexico leads the shootout 1-0.
That was special. Watch this replay here.
Number 11,
slow roll up.
Rodriguez.
Pardo doesn't come out too much. And
Rodriguez
exposes
shot.
top shelf.
Upper
That was
court,
brilliant.
dynamite goal. Now it's up to the United States' Alex Sanchez. Can he find the answer against Avila? This is crucial. Sanchez tries to put the keeper on skates, and
Wow.
he capitalizes.
Wow, talk about skill.
Sanchez skirts one through the twine.
Watch this replay here.
Crucial.
Roll,
Sanchez
roll,
tries to put
roll.
the keeper on
Left
skates.
foot, brilliant. Now I got a problem here because Mendez should be in the box. He's supposed to be ineligible to take this. In my opinion, he should be in the box still.
Well, he had a yellow card. Mendez shot denied by Pardo, and he's going to chomp at the bit to Mendez. If anybody keeps receipts in this league, it certainly is Boris Pardo, as he paws it away, denying Mendez.
He's chirping at him for sure.
That's going to put the king himself,
Chance
Frank
to win it.
Tayu. Will this be the game winner? I've seen Frank Tayu do this in Arena Monterrey. It's Tayu. It's Avila. The king fires. The king wields his mighty scepter. The United States win the ball game.
Absolutely brilliant.
It's Tayu. It's
Roll,
Avila. The king fires.
post,
The
and
king
in.
wields his mighty scepter.
Paulie Plexi was positive this time for the U.S.
A triple alliteration as the king, Frank Tayu, not to be denied, puts the U.S. above and on top of Mexico. Honestly, for the first time this summer in these international soccer showdowns, these World Soccer Fest, that was an entertaining matchup. And honestly, Eddie, this has been a great weekend. You and I have put in an 8-hour shift broadcasting. The fact that you and I don't sound like Large Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure blows my flipping mind.
You know what? And this is a great way to end a great event here. We've got players hugging each other, high-fiving. You fight, you scratch and claw. But in this sport, when the game is over, it's a fraternity of footballers. And it just was brilliant. I love seeing this as well, too.
Oh, 100%. Look, at the end of the day, this was a great weekend, competitive endeavor. The Combine was outstanding. These 3 matchups were outstanding. We saw a lot of fun. And again, I want to tip my hat off to Wilson Navas and the Certified Lions. He is holding the trophy there, center pitch. Look, this was a great weekend, a great bit of fun. And honestly, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Certified Lions, OKC, the OG&E Coliseum. This has been a phenomenal event.
Brilliant. Philly, on a personal note, I got to thank you, buddy. I've been wanting to work games with you for several years now. You did not, my friend, I can't think of the word right now. You did not disappoint. Absolutely brilliant, buddy.
Well, I appreciate that. With you saying that, does that mean like you'd still like to call games with me down the road?
Dude, I think I would love to call all-star games with you. Game of the week, game of the month, finals, whatever we can do, buddy. I think it's TST games. Hey, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
I love it. Obviously, spoken from your lips to maybe the word of God, and God in the media world for the MASL means JP Dellacamera. JP, yeah, I heard it from Eddie Pascarich. We're looking on over to the midfield as Commissioner Keith Tozer is talking right now. Maybe we could shut our pie holes for a moment to hear what the commish has to say.
Well, while he's talking, let's have a bit of a prediction we spoke about all day today.
Okay.
There's some good teams in the league this year. Obviously, you've got the San Diego Sockers that have just stockpiled some talent as well, too. You've got St. Louis, Milwaukee. You've got some brilliant teams that are going to take shape. My pick to win the Ron Newman Cup, drum roll, you ready for this? Kansas City Comets and Coach Steph.
Kansas City Comets. Look, there's so many teams that have an opportunity now that the Chihuahua Savage are out. You could argue that the Sockers have an opportunity. You could argue again that the Comets do. The Wave do. My sleeper team, though, damn right I'm biased. The Empire Strikers and head coach Anu Obasi in his second season takes the Empire back to the Ron Newman Cup Finals for the first time since 2021.
That's a good pick, my friend. It's a good pick, my friend. And listen, on a personal note again, all the best, buddy. Safe travels. Hi to your wife, and we'll see each other on the other side.
Sounds good. Again, we appreciate you tuning into this broadcast, World Soccer Fest live from the OG&E Coliseum. We want to say thank you for sticking around with us for 8 hours. My name's Christian Filliman, better known as Philly. I'm joined by Eddie Pascarich. We've had a great night of soccer. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, your weekend, and we'll see you at the start of the season on Black Friday. Good night, and God bless.